I am the change. How are we doing? We have another amazing world-changing showcase for you guys. We have the amazing Man Found Standing. Yes, Man Found Standing. I love his name, number one. But he's going to tell you a little bit about himself, why he's so amazing, and some of the amazing things that he's also doing. So, number one, first question, sir. Tell everyone a little bit about yourself. And actually, what's the background of your name, Man Found Standing?
Well, my Christian name's Paul Dean, but back in 2013, I was adopted as a Native American medicine man. That was particularly for my expertise in the essential oils and natural health care industry there. I grew up my whole life being surrounded by herbs and essential oils and alternative treatments, which are natural treatments. And my Christian name is Paul. And I was adopted as a medicine man. We went through a sweat lodge ceremony, and they gave me my full name, which is quite long, and don't ask me how to say that in Sioux. But it's Man Found Standing on the Temple Mountain, looking back over his shoulder through all generations of time. And they kind of explained it to me what that really means. But I shortened it to Man Found Standing because I am a Native American medicine man, having been adopted in there. And as the medicine man, I have certain protections legally that I'm being able to go out and share people information and guide them and direct them on their path to healing. Yeah, I'm quite excited about being here today. Thank you.
That is so far one of the most unique stories or backgrounds we've had, and wow, that's definitely a long name. So they chose the name for you. The church chooses it for you. The ceremony does.
Yes, correct. They did. Yes.
I like it. It is long.
Nice. So, tell me about this because, okay, I have always been into Native American culture. I am actually, my background, Blackfoot, Cherokee, and Mohawk in Native American. So, as a Native American medicine man, tell me a little bit about what is a day in your life like?
Oh gosh, depends on if it's the weekend or not. I try not to do too much work in the weekend, but normally consists of waking up and answering a lot of emails and then taking phone calls and doing different things. I'm really open to having people call me and asking me about their specific health condition and other things. It generally comes down to quite simple things, change your diet and supplement, and your body can heal itself from a lot of, or basically my belief is your body can heal itself if given the proper building blocks and know how to do that. And so today I just barely went through about half of my emails because of the long weekend. And so I'm going to go through the rest of my emails and then start answering voicemail calls and just generally giving people guidance and direction and finding out where they can go and what they can do. And we have products that I'm partnered up with other companies that we try to sell. And that's kind of how I create an income. But if someone, like for example, I get calls this weekend about people with their pets. Oh, my cat just got into a fight. What should I do? How about this? Or my daughter was just diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. What should we do there? What's advice? And I'll direct people and tell them, some alternative natural healing methods that they can go out and purchase and find and be healed up from.
Nice. Now,
very modern day.
Yeah.
Yes. So I remember when I met you, you showed me a particular, was it mushroom?
Yes.
Mushroom. I've actually been taking it every day, so it's really cool.
Tell them mushroom.
It's a healing mushroom, not like a magic mushroom or any of that. It's a therapeutic. It's actually one of the conchs. Lots of people are familiar with Shiaqga there, and this is something. Well, when I was introduced to it back, well, early on, back in, well, I got more information in 2013. What I asked him, hey, look, I'm familiar with Shiaqga mushroom. How does the Shiaqga compare? And the medicine man said, oh, the Shiaqga is 1,000 times better. And it's just phenomenally, very much more therapeutic, and people get such phenomenal results with the Shiaqga mushroom, but they haven't really heard of the Shiaqga mushroom. And we turn around and, you know, make it into a product, extract it, take it internally. Well, lots of people use it externally for lots of healing modalities, but it's a mushroom that I consider activates the body's own ability to start healing itself.
I am obsessed with mushrooms. Functional. I've never actually tried a psychedelic, but I've heard good things about those. But no, functional mushrooms. I've huge chaga mushrooms, lion's mane, all of them. The reishi. But no, I haven't heard of this one.
Yeah, basically the reason why is it was almost completely lost. There's two really tribes that were using it, but because of the white man's invasion into the continent, that all kind of got disrupted and got you know, lots of things going on with the different issues that they were dealing with there. But how I was introduced to it, I had heard about it from my mother, and she said, oh, try it and do it. And I took it, and it was so absolutely horrid tasting. It was like, oh, I can't do this every single day. I mean, it's one of those things you don't look forward to. And so, but when I got adopted as a medicine man, the medicine man said, hey, look into this mushroom here. This is my story. And his story was he was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer, and they literally gave him just a couple weeks left to live. And he had his Native American blood in him, and he went back to his Native American roots and asked his medicine man. He said, look, the white man can't do anything for me. Is there anything that you can do? And his medicine man said, yes, go eat this mushroom. Just go out and eat it and consume it. Now, on the reservations, natural healing and natural modalities are dying out simply because the government gives them free medical there, and free, you know, monies and free other things that they don't really want to go out and hire or pay for the services of a natural healer. You know, I've got a headache. Why use lavender oil when I can just pop a couple of free aspirin there? And so it was really almost completely died out. But my friend, with his stage 4 cancer, he started eating it, and his cancer went away into remission. From there, that got him so excited, he went out and got his naturopathic doctor degree, became a medicine man, and also then turned around and started sharing this out and doing a lot of research. And he's the one who brought it to me, which I said, hey, can I bring this out to the world? And he says, yes, please do. And so that's why we have it now, just because it wasn't lost. I mean, it was up to that point where he found out about it, probably 5 people in the world actually knew about it. And then now lots of people are getting it in their hands and getting healed up. So we're really grateful that we're bringing it back to people's knowledge.
Wow, wow. Now I know you said that when you tried it, it was disgusting, but what you gave me was pretty tasty. So what changed there?
Well, what we've done is we've taken it and we've extracted it down so it's really bitter and very not palatable. It's not nice. You know, people say, oh, wheatgrass juice is not very nice. Wheatgrass juice is wonderful compared to the Shiaqga. It contains a lot of the bitter terpenes, a lot of bitters there. But what I've done is I've combined it with the essential oils. I've added black cumin, number one, just because black cumin is really great for the lungs and respiratory and allergies and the immune system and things like that. Wonderful properties of black cumin. There's a book out there called Black Cumin, the Magical Egyptian Herb, and it's put out by 2 doctors. And I think on page 23 is the best quote, if I can get it right. It said, black cumin proved to be more effective than chemotherapy and radiation treatments without the serious side effects. Shiaqga, I consider way more powerful than black cumin, but I put black cumin in there along with it because it has a synergizing effect, can assist and support the overall function. But what really makes it palatable is the cinnamon and the lemon and the peppermint essential oils that are also in there. Small amounts, but enough to synergize and promote the digestive process and circulation and stimulate it to get the Shiaqga back into your body where it needs to go. There's also some frankincense oil in there, and that's for the anti-cancer, anti-tumor properties as well as immune building properties. But we made it palatable because when we had it not so palatable, people wouldn't take it. It was only the really sick people that really knew that they needed it, that they would take it. And then after they got healed up, they would say, oh, let's not take it so much. So now we actually made it into a version where you can take it every single day. It tastes nice. Your children will like it. I like it. It's great.
That's amazing. So I actually have some medical background, and I love, particularly with oncology and autoimmune diseases. So first of all, that's one of the reasons I love mushrooms, because I know their healing properties. But I love hearing all of this and about black cumin. I actually didn't know about that. I knew about cumin, but I didn't know about black cumin. Again, with the radiation and chemotherapy, I just love it. I feel like there's so many natural secrets. So let's maybe bring it back down. What do you feel like are common things that you see most people doing that they could do to be more healthy?
Oh, right off the bat, number one is people have very poor eating habits. Because of the processed food industry, back in the 40s and 50s, it's basically everybody was eating organically. The pesticides and the herbicides and fungicides wasn't really sprayed on our crops the way they are now. Now we are actually taking in more toxins in a single day than our parents did for an entire year at our same age. The toxic environment that we have is growing exponentially. And so these toxins in our body are overwhelming our body. Plus we're eating processed foods that don't have the nutrition, have the corn syrup and have these sugary substances in there that just literally wreak havoc to our body. We don't get the proper building blocks. And then modern lifestyles of stress. I mean, talking on the computer and the cell phones, that electromagnetic stress that comes about, plus, someone cutting you off in traffic, that heart leaping into your throat feeling like what that is that actually produces a hormone that we call the fight or flight hormone. And that hormone, if you don't go out and, fight a bear or run a couple miles, that does damages to your immune system. And so our modern lifestyle of stress and different things can really wreak havoc. But the number one is just our plain poor eating habits. The lack of nutrition in our food because of their farming and growing techniques. So number one, I just try to tell people, go back to a more natural, prepare it yourself, garden fresh diet. And I mean, just with people doing that, you can eliminate major illnesses and conditions. I mean, we've seen it all over.
That's a wonderful tip to remind people, especially the people in this group watching this video, to be honest. Ourselves.
Yeah, and when we're young, I remember me in my 20s, it was like, I'll stay up all night and eat whatever I want and do whatever. now when you're getting older, it's like, oh, you realize how valuable it is, because what you're doing when you're young and you're healthy and your body is really active really plays a major role down the road. You know, bad eating habits for 10 years, I mean, where is that going to lead up, and where is that going to build? But because of our modern living and where we're at, I find it vital that everybody should be supplementing with good nutrition, good supplements there. And I have some of my basic ones that I tell people to do, and the Shiaqga is one. It's one that it would be at my top of my list.
Awesome. These are just some great tips, just for life, but especially, you know, because we're the people who are watching this are people who have ideas, or are trying to come up with ideas of ways that they want to at least be able to change their customers' world, or someone in their life's world, so that it can create that ripple effect. And so being sick really hinders that. And so I really appreciate you jumping on with us today and giving us those tips, telling us about the Shiaqga, because again, like you said, when the person who brought it to you, there was only 5 people who even knew about it. Like, and we know about it in this group now.
Yeah, and here's some things, you know, too. It's not just you know, being young and stuff. You're feeling healthy and doing things, but one of what I like to do is, it's called having a modulated immune system. It's having your immune system up and active and functioning at such a level that it's prepared for situations coming about, whether it's a plague that comes about, or a biological terrorist event, or just an injury. You know, we have professional runners and athletes and bodybuilders that go on the Shiaqga just because they say they heal up in half the time. You know, normally it takes them 3-4 days of downtime before they can go and keep performing, whereas they say, oh, I've cut that time in half. You know, autoimmune diseases, you mentioned earlier, Amy, autoimmune diseases, the doctors say that, oh, it's an overactive immune system. And that's not really what's going on. I have a funny analogy. It's kind of like, you know, send a soldier out to war and they're fighting the enemy out there, shooting the enemy. But then if they start turning on their friends and start shooting them, you don't say, oh, he's an overactive soldier. You know, he's crazy. People with autoimmune diseases, their immune system has gone crazy. It's not programmed correctly. So even though the Shiaqga mushroom, you take it and within 20 hours, your immune system is 4,000% more functioning, better functioning, the autoimmune disease goes away because it's programmed correctly. So, you know, preparing for, you know, a virus, let's say the flu virus comes through and people are out sick for a week. Well, if you're on the Shiaqga and have your immune system up, you might be sick for 2 hours. You know, oh, I'm feeling sick. Oh, it went away. Everybody else in your office gets sick, but you're fine because you process the virus that quick, that fast. And it's wonderful to have and be on it.
I do not mind having a 2-hour flu.